In this world set in a dystopian Japan, all forms of obscenity and depravity are strictly regulated by the government. It is in this harsh world that high schooler Tanukichi is blackmailed into joining a revolutionary group dedicated to spreading obscenity and free speech. Are you interested in seeing how he navigates this absurd world? Watch to find out. High schooler Tanukichi Okuma commutes to school using a monorail, eagerly anticipating the chance to see Anna Nishikanamiya, the object of his affection. However, his day takes an unexpected turn when he intervenes in a tense situation, which almost leads to his arrest by the decency squad. Just as things seem dire, the notorious and audacious pervert known as Blue Snow makes a sudden appearance, causing chaos and allowing Tanukichi to escape. But the challenges for Tanukichi don't end there. He finds himself confronted by a curious classmate who demands an explanation of the intricacies of human reproduction. The student council subsequently summons him, requesting that he track down Blue Snow, the very person who saved him earlier. Later on, Tanukichi meets Ayame Kajo, the vice president of the student council, in a serene cafe. To his astonishment, Ayame reveals her true identity as Blue Snow. Faced with threats and coercion, Tanukichi reluctantly joins Ayame's unconventional cause. Together, they hatch a plan to disrupt the school during a student assembly. Initially, they distribute even more explicit leaflets throughout the packed gymnasium, causing a stir. Then, while Ayame plays a video featuring flies engaging in mating rituals, complete with amusing sound effects, they trick the teachers into hastily leaving the premises. Meanwhile, Tanukichi dons the disguise of Blue Snow and employs a line painting machine to draw a massive asterisk on the track. This audacious act triggers a cascade of unexpected emotions among the entire school community, including Tanukichi himself, who grapples with the bewildering new sensations that arise from this controversial display. As the school recovers from the aftermath of Blue Snow's recent antics, Tanukichi finds himself reminiscing about his own past and the bond he shares with Anna. This leads to him earning the trust of the student council. Ayame, the vice president of the council, then assigns Tanukichi a daring task. He must duplicate and distribute increasingly scarce paper inserts containing subtly suggestive material throughout the entire school. Unbeknownst to Anna, she hangs one of these pictures in the student council room, completely oblivious to its hidden meaning until Tanukichi brings it to her attention. This reignites Tanukichi's crush on Anna, but Ayame discreetly warns him against pursuing her. She reveals that Anna's parents are the driving force behind the stringent moral laws that currently grip Japan and potentially shape its future. Ayame hints at Anna's formidable anger and advises Tanukichi to tread carefully. Later on, Ayame concocts yet another audacious plan set within the school during the physical examinations for the freshman students. While Ayame distracts Anna and Guriki, Tanukichi disguises himself as the notorious Blue Snow and attempts to teach selected students offensive words using visual cues. However, Anna sees through Tanukichi's disguise, cornering him. Just as the situation intensifies, Ayame arrives on the scene as the real Blue Snow, holding vials of urine samples from the freshman boys. This unexpected turn of events causes Anna and Guriki to give chase, leaving Tanukichi to remove his Blue Snow disguise, unaware that an observant artistic student has spotted him from a nearby rooftop. During an award ceremony, Otome Saotome, a talented artist, dramatically tears up her certificate on stage, expressing her frustration with being in a creative slump. Later, she forcefully drags Tanukichi out of class and blackmails him, threatening to reveal his connection to Blue Snow, a perverted rebel, unless he helps her with a personal romantic issue. Meanwhile, Anna, Tanukichi's crush, and the student council president, finds herself being relentlessly pursued by an unknown stalker. In an attempt to gather information, Tanukichi takes Otome out to dinner, where he discovers that she, too, harbors deep feelings for Anna. However, when Otome threatens to expose Tanukichi, he concocts a story, claiming to be in love with Ayame, the vice president of the student council and secretly the infamous Blue Snow. The next day, Ayame suspects that Otome might be the mysterious stalker targeting Anna. During a student council meeting, Ayame devises a clever scheme to draw out the stalker by posing as Anna's boyfriend. The plan unfolds in a public park, where Otome reveals that Anna is her sole source of inspiration for her paintings. Suddenly, multiple stalkers appear and launch an attack on the disguised Ayame. Tanukichi courageously emerges from hiding to protect the girls, but in the chaos, one of the assailants unintentionally knocks him out after an accidental kiss with Anna. As Tanukichi tries to apologize, he falls unconscious, leaving Anna grappling with a mix of newfound and unresolved emotions stirred by the unexpected kiss. Following a stint in the hospital, Ayame reveals to Tanukichi that she has successfully persuaded Otome to join their provocative group, SOX, with the intention of inspiring more daring artwork. Tanukichi returns to school after his recovery, but he notices that Ayame is mysteriously absent, and Anna seems to be avoiding him. Later, Ayame unveils her latest plan to retrieve a hidden collection of old and suggestive material concealed on private property within the enigmatic Yotsuga forest. Recognizing the need for assistance, Ayame intends to entice the students from their school to venture into the forest during the upcoming weekend. However, her scheme encounters a setback when Tanukichi becomes the target of an unknown stalker, and Anna's mother, Sophia, pays a personal visit to the school, aiming to garner student support for her new moral legislation. With limited options at hand, Ayame decides that Tanukichi must confront his stalker. To their surprise, the stalker turns out to be none other than Anna herself, who captures and restrains Tanukichi. Before the situation escalates further, Ayame inadvertently interrupts their encounter, prompting Anna to flee. According to Anna, by eliminating impure influences, she believes she will be rewarded with an abundance of love. Ayame assigns Tanukichi the task of distributing Otome's latest forbidden artwork among the students. Along with the artwork, Tanukichi is to provide them with a map leading to the infamous Yotsuga forest. However, things take a twisted turn when the increasingly obsessed Anna sets her sights on Tanukichi, attempting to coerce him into consuming her love nectar. In his desperate escape from Anna's clutches, Tanukichi accidentally drops his bag filled with illicit material in Hiyaka's laboratory. As Sunday arrives, marked as the day for the ex-prohibition law signature drive, Sophia, Anna's mother, plans to personally greet the students at their academy. Meanwhile, Ayame daringly concocts a plan to confront the decency squad in a valiant effort to storm the forest. Surprisingly, all the students gather at the designated location in the forest, as Hiyaka, having discovered Tanukichi's materials, discreetly spreads copies throughout the school. In the midst of the chaos, Anna arrives in person, relentlessly pursuing a disguised Ayame. Ayame, quick on her feet, throws Tanukichi into the depths of the forest, where he stumbles upon a cave shaped in a rather suggestive manner housing the illegal stash. However, when Tanukichi hears Ayame being choked by Anna, his priorities shift, and he resolves to rescue her. Anna is left perplexed, unable to comprehend why this new terrorist elicits similar emotions within her as Tanukichi does. Later that night, during a press conference, Sophia proudly announces the success of the petition drive. Unfortunately, she discovers too late that someone cunningly substituted her signed petitions with provocative artwork, leaving her stunned. As Otome's provocative artwork spreads throughout the school, Ayame decides to take things a step further by producing prohibited toys. Tanukichi is given the task of convincing Hiyaka to create these small playthings. However, when Tanukichi arrives to collect one, Hiyaka insists on extracting information about his cucumber as payment for her services. A heated argument ensues between them, catching the attention of Anna, who becomes consumed by jealousy. To appease Anna's jealousy, Tanukichi hastily hands her a completed vibrating egg, omitting its true purpose. He hopes that it will pacify her. The following day, a mishap occurs when Tanukichi accidentally activates the vibrator using the wireless remote given to him by Hiyaka. Anna's repressed desires resurface with intensity. Tanukichi frantically searches for an escape or a means to turn off the vibrating device, but his pleas for assistance are met with reluctance from his friends. Eventually, Anna traps him within the confines of the student council room after Guriki discovers and brings him to her. Tanukichi discovers that Anna has transformed the vibrator into a pendant, rendering it out of his reach as he remains pinned down by her. Desperation takes hold as he finds himself trapped. Eventually, the vibrator malfunctions, providing Tanukichi with a window of opportunity to escape. With great relief, he manages to break free. Later on, Anna overhears Otome making a lewd comment about Tanukichi, triggering her fury. She proceeds to strangle him, while Ayame callously refuses to intervene. SOX forges alliances with various provocative revolutionary groups scattered across Japan. Meanwhile, at school, the student council makes a startling discovery, a string of thefts targeting undergarments in the city. Determined to catch the thief, Tanukichi and Ayame keep a close watch on a girl's changing room. However, Ayame suddenly dashes off, leaving Tanukichi vulnerable to yet another assault by Anna. Shortly after the incident, Tanukichi reunites with Ayame, only to find her engaged in a conversation with Hiyaka. In a twist of fate, he seizes an illegal book from Ayame's possession, a book featuring characters loosely based on himself and Guriki. As events unfold, Guriki successfully apprehends multiple underwear thieves within the school grounds. However, their triumph is abruptly interrupted by the emergence of a mysterious terrorist who goes by the name White Peak from the notorious faction known as Gathered Fabric. White Peak broadcasts a provocative message throughout the school, stirring chaos and uncertainty. Back at their rendezvous, within the walls of the cafe, Ayame asserts that it is imperative for SOX to take down White Peak. Later that same night, Tanukichi finds himself aiding a young girl in evading the clutches of the decency squad. With the unexpected assistance of Hiyaka, Tanukichi manages to elude danger. However, the situation takes an unexpected turn when the young girl attempts to attack Tanukichi, only to have him reveal his true identity as a member of SOX. The girl unveils herself as Kozori Onigashira, bearing the lineage of Keisuke, another erotic terrorist who once struck deals with the moral authorities. Ayame, initially hesitant to place trust in Kozori, ultimately decides to embrace her as a new member of SOX. As the morning light filters through, Tanukichi awakens to an unexpected sight. Kozori peacefully slumbering beside him, while Anna stands nearby, having kept a watchful eye on them for hours. Swiftly devising a plan, Tanukichi decides to pass Kozori off as his younger sister. Meanwhile, at school, Anna's father dispatches Oboro Tsukumegisa to assume the role of prefect. Unlike the moral authorities, Oboro takes a different approach by eliminating mundane items and objects. She even attempts to confiscate Hiyaka's illicit manga, but Hiyaka skillfully convinces her of its practical value. In the midst of these events, Ayame conceives a daring plan for SOX to distribute Otome's provocative artwork to other schools. Stepping up to the challenge, Kozori takes charge of the mission herself. Upon her return, Kozori gleefully reports the resounding success of her endeavor, now wielding her newfound accomplishment as a means to subjugate Tanukichi. Though repulsed by her methods, Tanukichi finds himself unable to betray Kozori to Ayame. The following day, during a private conversation, Ayame discloses to Tanukichi the adverse consequences that have befallen SOX due to the unexpected arrival of Oboro and her cohorts. In addition to contending with the threats posed by the moral authorities and the Gathered Fabric faction, SOX must now strategize a way to undermine the prefect system before it spreads to other schools under government exploitation. Ayame initiates a daring operation within the school grounds, aiming to undermine both the prefect program and the menacing Gathered Fabric faction simultaneously. Her meticulous plan involves deploying her notorious alter ego, Blue Snow, to disseminate an additional wave of suggestive artwork throughout the school premises. Meanwhile, Tanukichi strategically hangs his used boxers, hoping to lure in members of Gathered Fabric. However, instead of their intended targets, it is Anna and Oboro who unexpectedly enter the scene. Once again, Anna launches an assault on Tanukichi, creating a chaotic disruption. Meanwhile, Kozori, feeling excluded from the action, succumbs to jealousy. Determined to prove herself, Ayame reboots the plan, only to have Tanukichi swiftly incapacitate several members of Gathered Fabric. However, a startling revelation unfolds when Tanukichi subdues an intruder, inadvertently crushing their sensitive region. It turns out to be none other than Oboro, who discloses his true identity as a male. Oboro shares that he has been meticulously trained to dutifully serve both Anna and her father. Suddenly, chaos erupts as the fire alarm blares, prompting the entire school to evacuate. Finding solace within the confines of their secret hideout, SOX regroups. Kozori takes responsibility for triggering the fire alarm, but Ayame chastises her for jeopardizing their intricate plan. As the members of SOX contemplate their next move, an unexpected message arrives, inscribed on a pair of panties, directing them to assemble at a nearby park. It is there that they encounter the enigmatic White Peak, the mastermind behind Gathered Fabric, revealing himself at last. As negotiations between SOX and White Peak ensue, Ayame sternly reprimands him for exploiting illicit terrorism as a guise for their brazen acts of underwear theft. The following morning, Tanukichi rushes to school aboard a bustling bus. Engaged in conversation with Ayame, their journey takes an unexpected turn when their bus, along with Guriki, falls prey to a daring hijacking. Simultaneously, Hiyaka, Anna, Oboro, and Otome find themselves trapped in separate commandeered buses. During the audacious hijacking, White Peak seizes control of the public address system, proclaiming a declaration of war and disclosing his group's affiliation with SOX. As Hiyaka watches the news in dismay, she astutely identifies the hijacker's firearm as a counterfeit. Meanwhile, within Anna and Oboro's bus, Anna unleashes her formidable might, single-handedly subduing the assailant. In Tanukichi and Guriki's unfortunate bus, as Guriki teeters on the verge of surrendering his undergarments, a sudden and repulsive display of mass vomiting ensues, engulfing the bus in chaos. Seizing the opportunity, Tanukichi manages to escape, while Ayame detects a crucial clue pointing to White Peak's true identity. In a bid to capture White Peak, Ayame devises a plan involving Kozori as bait to draw out his bus. Despite Tanukichi's resourceful use of musk-infused panties, he finds himself overpowered by the cunning White Peak. Just as Ayame intervenes to aid Tanukichi, a shocking revelation unfolds when Kozori expels Ayame from the bus, exposing her allegiance to the enemy faction, Gathered Fabric. As the pivotal moment slips through their fingers, SOX must now grapple with the unexpected betrayal within their own ranks. With Kozori's stun gun menacingly aimed at Tanukichi, he finds himself with no other recourse but to make a hasty escape from the hijacked bus. United in their cause, Kozori and White Peak proceed to transport the hostages to Zashigeaka Academy, their stronghold. Meanwhile, amidst the turmoil, Tanukichi encounters Hiyaka, who approaches him with a sense of urgency. Within the walls of the academy, the members of Gathered Fabric assert their demands for ransom, exacerbating an already tense situation. As the gravity of the predicament weighs heavily on Ayame and Tanukichi, they recognize the urgent need for a strategic response. Amidst their deliberations, Tanukichi finds himself in yet another awkward encounter with Hiyaka, who elucidates on the concept of indoctrination, explaining how individuals like Anna are ensnared in a web of righteousness. Driven by the gravity of the circumstances, Tanukichi formulates a daring and high-risk plan, While Kozori diligently strategizes alongside the members of Gathered Fabric, the true intentions of White Peak are laid bare, revealing a stunning betrayal. Fueled by a sense of betrayal, Kozori attempts to neutralize him, only to find herself entangled in a battle against her former ally. Subsequently, a pivotal phone call from Otome redirects the course of events. With renewed determination, Ayame, Tanukichi, Anna, Guriki, and Oboro converge upon White Peak, confronting him head-on. In a moment of revelation, Tanukichi unveils his audacious scheme, which aimed to enlist Anna's collaboration with SOX. As Otome valiantly aids the students in their escape, Ayame and Anna engage in a final clash against White Peak, sealing his fate once and for all. Following Ayame's rousing and humor-laden address to the public, Kozori, having recognized Ayame as her true master, returns to the fold of SOX. With the dust settling and a sense of accomplishment in the air, the bonds within SOX are reaffirmed, marking a new chapter in their quest for freedom of expression and liberation from the oppressive forces that seek to control them. SOX receives a mysterious invitation beckoning them to rendezvous at a tranquil hot springs resort nestled in Nukumi. Intrigued, Tanukichi's memory is stirred, reminding him of an ancestral heirloom passed down by his father. With a sense of anticipation, they embark on their journey, only to be greeted by the unexpected presence of Guriki and Anna upon their arrival. As their state unfolds, an unsettling discovery awaits them. Emotionless Sophia lies in a state of unconsciousness. Their path forward becomes clear when a figure known as Base Black, an Ero terrorist of dubious intentions, materializes before them, claiming responsibility for orchestrating this gathering. He challenges them to a high-stakes duel, wherein the coveted artifact shall be decided through the ancient game of Yakuken. In an unexpected turn of events, Guriki's defeat leads to his subsequent disrobing, stunning Base Black and granting Tanukichi a brief moment of respite to secure the artifact. As Tanukichi and Ayame embark on a treacherous tram ride, their pursuit is interrupted by the unwavering presence of Anna, who fearlessly scales the cables to catch up to them. In a calamitous twist of fate, Anna's reckless pursuit causes the floor of the tram to collapse, setting the stage for a daring escape. Seeking refuge within the confines of an aged mansion, Tanukichi and Ayame explore its enigmatic depths, unearthing a hidden mechanism that awaits the touch of the artifact. With the timely arrival of Kozori and Otome, their united efforts succeed in unlocking the vault, unveiling a trove of alluring sculptures and statues that stand as testaments to the forbidden. In this moment, they pledge to safeguard these treasures, cherishing the hope that one day, when the era of anti-profanity enforcement has ceased, these exquisite works shall once again grace the world with their presence. And this is all for this video. Make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.